I don't know what I am doing. I kind of have gone through the few things that I had as like part of my checklist for what I needed to tackle when I got laid off, which are all of the things done in the videos prior to this. And now I'm just kind of like, now what? Like this week I have random things to share with you, and it's going to probably be random and a little clunky for the next wee while. Apologies, I've been watching a lot of like British and Irish content, so it's at least I'm not trying to use an accent. For the next wee while, yes, it's going to get weird, man. So I hope you're excited about that. I mean, this is normal, right? Anybody out there, can you tell me if this is normal? Well, it's just gonna have to be, I guess, realistically, you know? What can you do? Nothing. We're just in it. We're in it to win it.
Hello, and welcome to How to Lose Your Job in 90 Days, a series hosted by me, Melanie. I'm a 40-year-old who works in advertising, and I'm losing my job at the end of March due to layoffs. And while based on that intro, I think we can say we've officially entered the messy middle of this process, if there is a process happening here. And while the wise version of me knows this is exactly where the magic happens, the type A side of me is, well, she's losing her shit. So this week we're trying to balance those two sides of myself, along with figuring out what to do with some extra free time as my job starts to wind down. So if you are looking for a corner of YouTube with more questions than answers, welcome.
Hello. So I just finished a little bit of work for this morning, which actually I don't think I ever really gave you an update after one of my first videos where I was kind of sharing that I was struggling with how much time and energy I was still putting into my job. Like at the beginning of the year, I already knew that I was losing my job, and I was still working, and yeah, I was still working as if it was like not happening, or just like I didn't know how to like shut my work ethic off in a way. I was really struggling with that. So I started blocking my calendar so that like almost half of my day, if not half of my day, was not available for work, which felt really kind of crazy in the moment. But now we're almost at the end of February, so I have about just like a little over a month left at the job, and I will say that it's made such a huge difference. Like at first it was a process, but definitely I would say within the last few weeks I have really embraced it, and like the separation, and it's honestly so helpful. Like it has helped kind of like I don't know if it's like train my brain or me in some way to kind of like just separate and kind of pull away from the job in, you know, mentally and emotionally, which has been honestly so helpful. It just made a huge difference. I feel super balanced. I feel like I'm, you know, showing up enough to help my teammates in the ways that I can, but certainly not going above or beyond in any way. Or just like, yeah, I'm like showing up and doing the bare minimum, which is never been something I've been just able to do at a job. So it feels really, I get what people do it. It feels nice to do the bare minimum and get paid for it. But I'm kidding. I don't think I could really do this if I knew I had a future somewhere. But this, I think given the situation, it makes total sense. It's fair. This is appropriate. So if you are struggling at all, if you're in a similar situation or not, I mean, hey, it's up to you. And you find yourself still being you know, overachieving, super dedicated to work, and like nothing has really changed in your relationship with your job, even though you know it's ending, I'd definitely recommend or just suggest that you do the calendar blocking and use, you know, 3 to 4 hours every day for yourself, searching for a new job, exploring what you might be interested in, having informational calls with people who have jobs that you are curious, whatever the heck you want to do, like do it. It has just made such a huge difference for me as someone who really struggled with that. And I feel good. I feel ready to go. I'm not interested in staying. I don't want to stay. Like, I want to go. I'm ready to go. I'm ready for for what's next, even though I have absolutely no idea what the hell is in my future. And so it's gonna be a little season of side quests, adventures, misadventures. We're gonna, you know, follow things that we're interested in, that we're curious about. A lot of those things aren't gonna work. Most of those things are probably not gonna work out. And that's gonna just have to be okay, because we're trying to find something different. We're trying to do something new. And so in order to do that, it's gotta be a little sloppy. That's just the reality. And that is a little tricky for me. I mean, as a producer, I guess like outside of advertising and I guess maybe film, I don't even know what a film producer really does, so I couldn't tell you. But in terms of like my world and what I've been doing, I would say it's kind of similar to like almost like a program manager, like director with like healthy dose of project management. So basically, I get an idea, a concept, and I need to make that a reality. So I develop the timelines, I develop all of the budgets, I develop all of the project plans, I determine what resources we need, what talent we need, expertise, kind of all of that. And then really I'm in charge of the project. I'm the boss of the project. I'm the one that needs to get us from concept and idea to reality, regardless of what that takes. So I'm a woman who likes to know where I'm going, and I like to have a plan, and I like to follow the plan to where I'm going. I'm good at drafting a plan. I'm great at following a plan. All of that. I don't know where I'm going. So I don't really, it's kind of impossible to draft a plan to a question mark, because I don't, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like, well, I don't know where I'm going, so I don't know how to get there.
Phoebe? What? Do you have a plan? I don't even have a plan.
Which is just a world it's not the most comfortable world for me. I think other people might love this. So offer your advice to a friend, me, who doesn't really know how to dive into this with, I would say, a huge level of excitement and yeah, I guess just like I mean, I'm optimistic. I think it's going to be fantastic, but it is also going to be incredibly uncomfortable to be this next chunk of time. So I hope you're excited to tune in for that. But you know, I wasn't really going to record today because I'm just a little crankier than normal. And thought, you know, that's not really worth sharing. But I'm going to try to save this plant that I'm slowly killing, and I don't know why. She's sad, like she's not happy. And she was super happy like a few weeks ago. So we're gonna take her to a local plant store where they tell you all of the things that you're doing wrong, how you're killing your plants, and then they tell you how to fix it. So I'm gonna try to do that because that might put me in a better mood. This is a tool or technique of procrastination. I don't even really know what I'm procrastinating around anymore. You know, midlife existentialism has got me down. I'm not really sure what to do next. So instead of like focusing on finding a real answer to that, I'm gonna busy my body and my hands and hopefully save a plant. Going all in. So good news. Sweet baby girl over here is not dying. Great news. Fantastic news. The bad news is I don't know anything about plants. I just think that's pretty. I should put that in my home. I can keep it alive without paying any attention to like how to care for it or like what happens. So basically, the wonderful people at the plant store taught me that this is what she's supposed to look like. Well, she could use a little water, but I'm a notorious overwaterer, so I was a little cautious, but apparently she could do with some water. And this is how she's supposed to look. She is a plant. I can't remember the name. Absolutely not. So, but she is supposed to, after she flowers, she puts so much energy into creating the flower, that's kind of the end of her life cycle. So well, she is dying, but she's supposed to die, and she spawns, maybe is the best word I can think of. These what are called pups, but basically new plants that will start to grow from the base of the plant. So while this starts to look not so great, I need to keep an eye out for the new pups, because then once those start to form, I can take the plant back in because I can't be trusted to do this on my own. And the lovely folks at the plant store will help me cut the mother plant away from the pup so the pup can start its life and grow as its own plant and will have its own like flowering cycle. So, old girl's all right. She's dying, but she's supposed to. But I'm not killing her, so you win some, you lose some. I'm not really sure there, but
So, aside from tending, or I guess I should say attempting to tend to my plants, I'm also filling my time with a few other things, one of which is volunteering at a food bank here in the city. So, this is me early morning making a little breakfast before I go in to handle my registration desk duties there. This has quickly become one of the highlights of my week. I've also been learning Spanish for what feels like an eternity at this point, but with the extra time I have, I am now doubling down on my studies. So this is me in a session with my tutor. She's based in Colombia and just so politely humbling me on all of the things I have left to learn in order to master this language. Not even master, just to hopefully become fluent one day, but anything's possible, so I'm not giving up on this dream just yet. And I decided to end the week with a little hike. It's incredible how quickly nature can just blast me right out of a bad mood. And in this hike in particular, I spent some time thinking about productivity and how much time and effort I've spent optimizing every inch and moment of my life and days, and just how dreadfully boring that really is. I happen to be really good at being productive and working hard, but what I'm not so great at is prioritizing pleasure and play. Sorry for all the P's. I mean, alliteration, wow. But I really want to spend time putting those things at the front and maybe letting productivity climb in the back seat for a while, take a nap, relax, and really putting pleasure and play at the front for a while. So I don't know, maybe something for you to think about too. Okay, that's all I have for this week. So love ya. Bye.